Is horror going to dominate my best list again? Fine by me. If the big companies don't want to try, leave it to the indies to put it all together. But let's talk about it. I originally meant to review this on Valentine's Day, or at least the day after, but things have been happening lately. I haven't quite had the time for it, so it got pushed back, and I apologize. But now that that's all done and dealt with, now we're going to talk about it. Because this movie's too damn good not to review. Will it be on my year-end best list? Possibly, but it depends on how many movies get the score that I gave it this year. So, yeah, let's talk about that new horror movie and why it's pretty damn good. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Station, Universal Animation, including TV and movies. I apologize for my attire. I don't have anything red or pink on me right now. I'm your host, Jackson Small, and welcome to my review of Hard Eyes, the latest holiday horror slasher. But it's not just a holiday horror slasher. It's actually also a romantic comedy. A rom-com, if you will. Now, usually when I hear words like that, I want to run for the hills, as rom-coms aren't really my thing. Like, I like comedy, I like funny movies, and some romances in some of the movies I watch do work. But a romance movie by itself, it takes a lot to actually get me interested in one. Like Notebook, don't care. Twilight, really don't care. But stuff like Fault in Our Stars, decent. 5 Feet Apart, heartbreaking and beautiful. It's possible. I can like romance movies. It's just not my particular genre, or Lifetime movie as you prefer, because that's usually what most people call it. So when I heard that it was going to be a horror movie version of a rom-com, I wasn't really sure what to expect. It had an interesting looking killer, a very interesting, different premise, and the people attached did get me pretty excited. Specifically, one Olivia Holt, a very talented young actress, and Mason Gooding Jr. from Scream 5 and 6. Yeah, those are two pretty big names to get in your horror movie. So when you have both of those people involved, naturally I'm going to get excited. So the day before Valentine's Day, actually, is when I saw this, and yeah, it's a pretty damn good horror movie, man. It's a damn good horror movie, and while it's nowhere near the heights of, like, the original classic, iconic My Bloody Valentine, it's still a pretty damn good movie. But what also surprised me about it is that not only is it a damn good horror movie, it's also a damn good rom-com. Like, I believe the romance, the chemistry's there, and it's actually legitimately funny at times. And not to mention, there's also Jordana Brewster from Fast and Furious and Devon Sawa. I mean, I was pretty much inclined to like this movie based on all that alone, but it still surprised me with how great it actually turned out to be. So, without further ado or delay, here is my review for Hard Eyes, my written review for it. And all I can say is, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you check it out. It's definitely worth your time. Now, this beginning part, I literally wrote on Valentine's Day, so please excuse it sounding weird days after the fact, okay? Here's my written review. Happy Valentine's Day! And since I'm still pretty apprehensive about the new Captain America, with so many reviews calling it mid, and I ended up finding it trash if you saw my last review, I decided to see the latest holiday-themed slasher instead. Yeah, I saw this instead Captain America. Having watched Captain America, now I can say that I made a pretty smart decision. And boy am I glad I did, because this turned out to be an awesome horror film that delivered on everything its premise and trailer promised. Like, yeah, the trailer was a little spoilery, but it wasn't too bad. There were still plenty of surprises. So, let's get into it, starting with the positives. Fantastic acting, especially from Mason Gooding Jr. and Olivia Holt as the main two leads, as well as Devon Sawa, because he's Devon Sawa. Dude's been killing it ever since he got on the Chucky TV series. Surprisingly excellent love story with plenty of chemistry between the main two leads. Like, I actually really like the love story here. It's a little unorthodox. Sometimes it can feel a little bit haphazard, but it works. And the two leads deliver great performances as very likable characters that actually make me believe it. So, yeah, congrats. Horror movie did romance that's actually pretty good. Outstanding plot that perfectly blends horror and rom-com together, like having this killer that only kills couples on Valentine's Day, chasing these people that look like a couple, but aren't a couple, and are mistaken for a couple. But this killer keeps chasing them anyway. Not to mention, Valentine's Day is one of the happiest days of the year for most people. So, turning that into the scariest night of the year, pretty damn clever, I gotta say. Phenomenal gore and carnage candy that's bursting with creativity and insane brutality. I don't mince words, and neither do any of the other reviews of this movie. This movie is gory as hell. Like, you see heads squished, you see people stabbed with flagpoles, you see heads get ripped off, you see... Okay, I'm actually allowed to spoil this one because it is in the trailer. The one where two people are killed with a car jack through the mouth. One gets the sharp end, and the other gets the dull end. Brutal. And the final ultimate death of who Hard Eyes turns out to be? Amazing. Freaking amazing. Up there with one of the best villain deaths in horror. Hilarious humor that lands pretty well, especially a Fast and Furious reference, which is funny since one of the actors is Nia Toretto herself, Jordana Brewster, so it works simultaneously as a fourth wall break. Like, I don't remember this part being in the trailer or not, but there is a Fast and Furious joke because Jordana Brewster is in the movie. And when they actually said it, I couldn't stop laughing. It was actually a pretty smart and funny joke. Great music and sound editing. Amazed by Lone Star was in the beginning, need I say more? Acutely horrific atmosphere that never lets up. Like, it bounces back between aww and ugh. Like, it does a perfect flip-flop of being both cute and horrific. Superb pacing. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's mostly just right. Until the ending, which we'll get to. Impressive directing. I don't know if this is a first-time director or not, but if it is, very impressive. Solid runtime. Not too long, but also doesn't feel rushed. And high rewatchability. I can easily see myself watching this movie every Valentine's Day from now on, aside with My Bloody Valentine. However, the biggest reason why I cannot put this on that same pedestal as that iconic movie is because the reveal of who Hard Eyes is at the very end of the movie is absolute dog shit. Like, that's the one thing that pretty much everyone has stated in all their reviews too. And it is a problem in mine as well. The killer reveal at the end of the movie is dog shit. I can see what they were trying to go for, and the killer's ultimate demise is extremely brutal. Like I said, one of the best villain deaths in horror. But it just felt like an out-of-nowhere ass-pull to extend the movie's runtime by 20 minutes. It's by far the worst part of the movie and had me rolling my eyes a lot. And that's literally my only problem with this movie, that the reveal of Hard Eyes and who they turn out to be is dog shit. Like, if that reveal was better, this probably would be at least a top 5 movie of the year. But because that reveal is so dog shit and it feels so out of nowhere, yeah, it does bug me. Like, the death may be brutal, but the reveal still sucks. Overall, though, Hard Eyes is a badass heartbreaker of a rom-com slasher that had me thoroughly entertained almost the entire way through. And while it did sputter out towards the end, the grand majority is more than enough to save it. I absolutely loved this one, and hope it gets to become a franchise because it still has so much potential yet to explore. I can see it's becoming a lot like Scream, where you have different killers as Hard Eyes in every single movie, going after different couples and different characters. Like, there's a lot of potential there. We can do a lot more with this premise still. So, let's get to my final verdict for the movie, shall we? My final verdict for Hard Eyes is going to be a high and well-deserved, but not quite perfect, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Highly recommend giving it a look this holiday, and it will be on the year-end best list. I will do my best to try and make sure it gets there, but depending on how this year goes, no promises. Horror just keeps kicking ass. I can't wait to see what's next for the genre this year, which I think is Death of a Unicorn, that new A24 movie with Jenna Ortega. That comes out in March. So, if that's so, excited. Very excited to see it. So, that's it. That's my review for Hard Eyes. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Feel free to check out all my other horror movie reviews in the Spooky Section playlist, which you will find on this channel. And stay tuned, because this is only the beginning of another year of horror for cinema here on Animation Station. I love horror. Horror's been kicking ass the past few years. Can't wait to see where it goes. Will it top Hard Eyes, or will it fall below? Well, guess we'll find out soon. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.
To forget, so listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who ripped his pants.